Season of the Worthy's PvE activity is all about Rasputin's bunkers on Io, EDZ and the Moon, and much of the rewards for this season, like weapons, mods and armour, come from levelling up these bunkers with a currency called Warmind Bits. The following is a guide for how to farm Warmind Bits and level up your bunkers fast. If you're like me, then you may have fallen off the activity earlier in the season. However, there's a few tricks and techniques you can do to farm Warmind Bits nice and fast so you can level up those bunkers quickly. Bunkers are found on the EDZ and the Moon and Io and can be upgraded. You want to do this to raise the integration level of the bunkers seen down in the bottom right hand corner. To upgrade the bunkers, you're going to need to gather a lot of Warmind Bits and planetary materials. Once you have these Warmind Bits, then you want to upgrade the armory upgrades in each bunker. And each time you upgrade, you get a chipset, and you'll use these chipsets to raise the integration level of each bunker. By upgrading bunkers, this gives you access to Seraph weapon bounties, and after you complete these weapons will be added to the loot pool, so you can grind for god rolls of these weapons. It'll also give you access to mods, which can be attached to armour that will provide you with more options for creating interesting builds throughout the Season of the Worthy. Warmind Bits, they're the currency and can be gathered in a few ways. So you can complete Seraph Tower public events on the EDZ, Moon and Io. You can do Rasputin bounties collected from the Warmind, and here you have weekly, daily and repeatable bounties. Legendary lost sectors are another way to get bits, and once you get in a few bunker upgrades, they'll open up even more ways too. Gathering Warmind Bits can be slow, and it's going to take thousands of bits to upgrade the bunkers. Completing a Seraph Tower event only gives you a handful of bits. You've got the weekly bounty, that gives you 100, and daily bounties gives you 50 each. The repeatable bounties gives you 12, but they do cost glimmer as well. The daily bounty objectives can range from defeating powerful Hive or defeating Guardians with a fusion rifle in the Crucible, or you can do something like defeating a Vex boss or defeating a Guardian with a rocket launcher in the Crucible. The daily bounties are probably a good way to start out, as they're generally faster than the repeatable and the weekly bounties. And you can do daily bounties across all three characters and save up a good amount of bits per week. So you've got 200 per day from the daily bounties and 200 per week for the weekly bounties, plus any amount of repeatable bounties you want to do. So that is your standard farm for getting Warmind Bits. However, once you get a few Warmind Bits, you'll want to upgrade the bunkers to make your life much easier. So check out each bunker and pick up the cost reduction ones on the far left, starting at level 1 and working your way to level 3. Next, you want to pick up the Warmind Bit generation upgrades, again starting with 1 and working your way to 3. Warmind Bits generation level 3 is where you can get bits from Gambit, Strikes and Crucible, and that will come in handy for one of the farming techniques later on. Finally, you want to get the encrypted Warmind Bits generation upgrades tier 1 and tier 2, then after that it is pretty much up to you. A good one to get is activating your robot buddy when you're doing these Seraph Tower events, because it's always handy having a Rasputin robot buddy helping you tear through the enemies whilst you're completing that event. Once you've picked up the upgrades to gather the Warmind Bits from Strikes, then a good farming method is running the Lake of Shadow strike found on the EDZ. So this is a strike you can run through pretty quickly. Once you get into a rhythm, it'll take you about 5 to maybe 10 minutes to blast through that. You have a chance at the end of the strike to drop 30 Warmind Bits. Do beware though, it's not 100% drop every time you do this strike, but when I was testing I managed to get drops about 50% of the time. The Warmind Bit generation upgrade is really good. As well as strikes, you can farm Crucible as well, and I got 24 Warmind Bits after a Crucible match. It's not going to be 100% of the time, it's a chance at getting this drop. So the Warmind Bit generation tier 3 is really good because you can pick and choose your activities, whether it be Gambit or Crucible or Strikes, whatever your favourite activity is, you're going to get a chance at more Warmind Bits. So another good farming technique is to run the daily legendary lost sector. You need to be a little bit of a higher power level for this one, otherwise you're going to get crushed. But by now you should be nearing or have surpassed 1000 power, which should be more than enough. To make this nice and fast though, try and run it with a fire team. Either call on some clan buddies or fire up the Bungie companion app and put out a call and you'll find a fire team in no time. The quarry on the EDZ is very quick, and shout out to Fallout for the tips on this one, and you can run this one in under a minute if you're fast. At the end of the run you'll get 10 Warmind Bits for this one for the main chest and a couple from the encrypted Warmind Bits chest, and that's not too bad for a minute's worth of work. Finally, to upgrade the bunkers, you're going to need planetary materials, and these can be gathered from the Season Pass upgrades, planetary chests and destination bounties, albeit the destination bounties can be quite slow. Probably your best bet is the Spider on the Tangled Shore, and he'll trade you planetary materials for legendary shards, and his stocks rotate daily. So if he's not selling what you need today for shards, then head back tomorrow and check out his wares. If you don't have shards, go on a dismantle spree through your vault, as you've probably got loads of stuff you don't need in there or haven't used in ages. Do be careful with the Spider though, he's normally selling a few planetary materials for Glimmer. You want to focus on the ones that he's trading for one legendary shard. Then just go back each day and check out the Spider's inventory and make sure they match up to Io, the Moon and the EDZ bunkers. So hopefully this gives you the info you need to farm Warmind Bits nice and fast to allow you to upgrade the bunkers as fast as possible. My advice would be try to stick to one bunker at a time rather than spreading your upgrades over a few bunkers. I didn't upgrade my bunkers correctly the first time, but I've since learned about the best order to upgrade. It is a bit confusing at first with the new currencies, the upgrades and the terms like bits and chipsets, integration levels, etc. Definitely go for the cost reductions one first, and then move on to the Warmind Bits generation upgrades to make your life a hell of a lot easier. Once you've got the upgrades and you're on your way to upgrading your bunkers, grab some of the Seraph weapon frame bounties and start working away at those. Let me know down in the comments what you think of the bunkers and the PvE activities in Season of the Worthy. Do you think they got the balance right? And if you think it could be better, what would you suggest for future seasons? Well, that's it for this guide on how to farm Warmind Bits to level up bunkers fast. And thank you so much for watching. For more Destiny 2 content like this, hit that subscribe button down below, subscribe to This Week in Video Games. And if you want to be notified the next time I upload, then hit that bell button too. To join the community, check out the Discord link in the description, and you can follow me on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful, then liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out these other videos on the channel. Thanks again, and I'll see you at the Seraph Towers.